Hey, I'm back. This is Ray's Rant for the Masses, and this time I did Last House on the Left last time, which was in my previous film, my first review, and this is my second one. But I decided to go for something that's not on DVD yet, and it's only in theaters. And I decided to go for something new. Maybe you guys will want to see something new. I don't know. But the one I'm doing now is Fast and Furious, the fourth installment of the Fast and Furious quadrilogy. That sounds weird, quadrilogy, but that's the terminology for it. It's not a trilogy. But it's the fourth installment, but it's supposed to be in between two and three. Um, Now the movie was actually really, really good, very story driven. Um, Paul Walker, actually, I was glad that he returned, and Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez and the other actress, I forgot her name. I only seen her in the Fast and Furious movie, so I forgot her name. But I was glad the original cast was back. Now I'm trying not to give spoilers just because I don't want fans who haven't seen the movie to see this and then they get, oh my god, you just ruined the whole movie for me. But without any spoilers, I was happy that the whole cast returned. I felt that even though Fast and Furious happened like way back and this one happened, I felt like the connection was still there. Even though there's a 5 year gap in between the two movies, that it was still good. Vin Diesel was able to capture the character, but the thing was that it's very simple, I guess, for him to capture that character, seeing how he is typecasted. Now, I think he's a good actor, but I felt like he can only do action movies, so that's what makes him ideal for the role. As for Paul Walker's performance, it was great, but it kind of frustrated me because the character didn't seem appropriate. Seeing how if you watch one, he's kind of like a nervous kind of guy because he's without giving any spoilers, he's the cop and he's trying not to get caught. And then when you watch the second one, he's on the run. He's not a cop, so he's playful. And then Tyrese comes in, so he's like all like, hey, let's do this, hey, let's do that, and he's a chill kind of guy, typical surfer dude. And then you watch this one, and he's kind of like a uptight FBI agent, which kind of didn't make sense because I'm thinking character wise, if you watch the first one, he's a cop, and then second one he's not. He's on the run from the law. At the end, he never decides or it never says that he wants to go back, but he wants to open up a shop with Tyrese. And then when you watch this one, it's like, okay, it's 5 years after part two. Why is he back where he was before and not in Miami with Ludacris and Tyrese? It makes no sense. Why would he just abandon that lifestyle that he's become accustomed to become an FBI agent? It doesn't really go into that in the movie. And if you're gonna do a movie about characters, why not his story? I understand it might have been too long, but then again, is just if you're gonna do that, justify it. Vin Diesel's part and a half story, because it's mostly about these two characters, was excellent. It was done well. I just didn't understand how Michelle Rodriguez tied up with him. I guess you could use common sense to say, oh, well, he called her, and say, hey, come meet me in Mexico, because that's where he was headed in the first one at the end. And then, they just went on from there to Dominican Republic. But I just didn't understand how that happened. I just wish they would have showed it. It just would have made more sense than to just make me use common sense. I know that most movies are like, hey, you're smart, figure it out. But when it comes down to a tie-in film, you have to show everything. Because why didn't they show what happened to the guy who got shotgunned in the first movie? What happened to him? I forgot his name, but what happened to him? I don't know where he went. He was just gone. And then so was the other friend who he just crashed there. He was just there, and he just disappeared. And then the kid who got shot to death. Did he really die? I mean, he got shot, but not everybody who gets shot dies. So what happened to these three dudes? The first one, they just go, they're gone. You know what I mean? I just want to know what happened to them. Why didn't if Vin Diesel called his woman to come over there? Why didn't he call his friends? I mean, and then when he came back, why didn't he go and see their graves? I don't know, but I just want to know these things. So, and what happened to Tyrese? This is another thing. I felt like this movie was trying to do a reboot, or like continue on from just the first one and ignore the Too Fast, Too Furious and connect it to Tokyo Drift, where I felt the end was too open ended to connect it to Tokyo Drift. So it felt like the director was doing this whole, I don't want to make this the last installment, but I don't want to tie it in completely, because maybe I could come back and do a sequel, which would be nice. But I just felt like then it becomes like Saw, where every 5 minutes you got to bring a movie in to go and explain the next movie, and to explain the previous movie, and explain the movie before that movie, and the prequel, and I really don't want that. Why can't you just explain it in one movie? So it was great. The storyline was really, really good. It felt like it wasn't a car movie. That's the best part. I felt like, I'm not a fan of cars, but I am a fan of the Furious franchise. I don't know why. I just like it. But this one, I was able to watch, and I didn't need to know about cars. I didn't need to know about racing. I didn't need to know about this underworld lifestyle that I wasn't a part of. I was more attached to the characters, where they were going, and what was going to happen. And that was the best part. It was very character driven and very story driven. But the action was just as good. I just felt that certain parts it was CGI, and I knew it was CGI, and I didn't want to see CGI. And I felt that if you was gonna do a blockbuster this big, either get really good special effects artists or do it live action. If you can't do it live action, that means it's too ridiculous to be put in film. That's just the way I see it. But that was it was one of the best Fast and Furious I've seen. The only thing was that it did not tie into the. I just felt it wasn't a good installment in between 2 and 3. It did not connect them as well as I would expect it to be. It's kind of like episode 3 of the Star Wars franchise. I felt that if you can do that, then why couldn't we do this with Fast and Furious? Well, maybe it's because it was different directors, but still, it would have been nice to have a more seamless movie. It would have been better if it would have been one, the Fast and Furious, then two, Too Fast, Too Furious, and then this one, which was Fast and Furious, and then Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and then maybe another one, maybe 5, maybe 6. I don't care. But that's just the only problem I had with it, which was not really a big deal if you're not a fan of the franchise. But if you're just looking for a good action movie, story driven, this is definitely a movie I would see. It's not the best movie I've seen, but it's very, very good. It's very well done. I was actually surprised by the director, seeing how I did not like Tokyo Drift. I'm just not a fan of the whole Tokyo thing, and then the first half was great, but I mean, once he gets to Tokyo, I didn't care anymore. And I guess it was because I liked the first one, I kind of liked the second one, and then the thing was that none of the characters from the first one were in this one. I never found out what happened to them, so I felt that if Fast and Furious came out before Tokyo Drift would have been better in my book. But it didn't happen that way. So Fast and Furious came out now. But as for the movie, it was just well done. I would definitely see it. Rent it on DVD. If you're a fan of the franchise, you will love this, except for the tie-ins. But if you're willing to put those at the door, it will be even more better. I guess I didn't do it because, I'm kind of a purist. But I would say all around, I would give this movie, I'll give it a 7. So, that's just, definitely rent it. Definitely go see it. I mean, it's perfect date movie, I guess. No, horror movies are date movies. But, yeah, check it out. If you're a fan of Vin Diesel, if you're a fan of Paul Walker, if you're a fan of cars, if you're a fan of women in trimpy shorts, if you're a fan of reggaeton, then go watch it. If you're not a fan of any of those things, just stay out of the theater, because it's what you're gonna see. Oh, and the story, definitely go for the story. The story is really good. So that's my review for Fast and Furious. Give it a 7. And that's about it. So rate, comment, subscribe, and enjoy.